restart. Hello and welcome to Groundhog Jungle. Today we're talking about the film The Man Who Knew Too Little. I'm Matt Fleming and this man with cake in his mouth is...
Alex Hillman. I've swallowed it.
Oh,
not the first time you've heard
No.
that.
No, not the first time I've heard that this day. The Man Who Knew Too Little is a film from 1997 featuring Bill Murray, starring Bill Murray, and one of his first films for a while that he is the main lead. He wasn't the main lead in Kingpin, he definitely wasn't in Space Jam, he kind of was supposed to be in Larger Than Life, but he was upstaged by an elephant. In this film, this is a film which is set in Britain almost exclusively, isn't it?
Mm.
Which is weird, maybe one of his only films where that's happened?
Quite possibly, apart from Garfield 2.
Yeah, although I'm pretty sure he did have to visit Britain in order to record his vocals in a booth.
Probably not. Set in Britain, with lots of unusual British people popping up.
Yeah, you could probably remember
John Thompson.
John Thompson's there, is he? I've forgotten some of the others.
Yeah, he plays one of the Russian gangsters.
I want to say...
Richard Briers.
Is this the film that Alfred Molina is in, or is there another one that he's in?
Yes, Alfred Molina is the lead gangster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, the premise of the film is...
It's a great premise.
It is a great premise. So, you've got Bill Murray's brother, who is played by...
Peter Gallagher,
Peter Gallagher,
of the OC,
and other... Now, I always get him confused with Carl McLaughlin. Carl McLaughlin's the one who's in Flintstones, isn't he?
Maybe. That doesn't help my example, because I was going to say Carl McLaughlin is better.
Yeah. But Peter Gallagher's... Yeah.
Peter Gallagher is the one who was the husband in... No, hang on. No, he's in American Beauty, isn't he, Peter Gallagher, as well, I think.
Yes, he is, yes. And was also in the 1994 stage production of Guys and Dolls with Nathan Lane.
I was getting to that.
What a great... Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No, great pairing, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he was Sky Master.
He does not in any way look like Bill Murray's brother, but you know what, cinematic license.
He doesn't look like Bill Murray's brother, but Bill Murray comes down to London and is a kind of... He's supposed to be, or at least he's playing, and it's another one of these studio films where he's kind of given the character, isn't he, really? Like a kind of brash American sort of tourist who's quite enthusiastic about things. Bill Murray's very likeable in this, I think.
Yeah.
And he is... to kind of get him out of the way, because isn't something important happening?
Yeah, I can't remember what, but his family are sort of embarrassed by him, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got it actually.
I believe his family are embarrassed by him. They set up like some sort of like interactive sort of like street theatre play, The Man Who Knew Too Little. That's what we're talking about today, guys. They set up some sort of interactive street theatre sort of thing, some immersive theatre experience. He thinks he's in that, but at some point that does stop and real life takes over, but he still thinks he's in the play.
Yes. Who's it got in it? It has got...
I want to say it's got Jean Triplehorn. Is that true? Did I make that up?
If it
Joanne
has,
Whalley.
Joanne Whalley, yeah.
I'd confused
And
those
she's
two.
the love interest, isn't she? And the idea is that it's sort of a spy caper, but it's also a farce. And Bill Murray, as the character, is set up on this kind of fun... like spy experience thing, which is quite ahead of its time. That sort of thing happens now, I think, doesn't it? And the whole kind of acting troupe around it there's a bit of some hijinks, and basically he gets embroiled in an actual heist, doesn't he? And he bumbles his way through it, and manages to kind of be a spy.
Yeah, it's it's very Bondish, isn't it? It's very sending up Roger Moore Bond. It's very isn't there a scene that's a direct rip off of Octopussy in it? Isn't there?
Quite possibly. Yeah.
You know, with the whole Fabergé egg thing. I thought there was a
scene.
Oh
yes,
where...
no, you're right. Yeah, that is a thing to do with Octopussy, and Bill Murray basically. There's lots of really fun set pieces in this film, and Bill Murray's really on form, and he really seems to be having fun.
Yeah.
And there's a bit that I saw. It won't translate well now because it just won't. But I remember seeing it for the first time where Bill Murray accidentally sets off a gun. Yeah. And when I first saw that, it had me pissing myself with laughter for about 5 minutes straight. It really made me laugh.
It is, yeah. That's funny. There's a lot of those sort of misunderstandings. A lot of the sort of dramatic irony of he's arguing with someone who could well kill him.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that they could kill him. Yeah, and that's great fun.
That is great humour.
And then the kind of the finale takes place in a party, doesn't it, or a drinks get together thing? Yeah, I think is that right? Yeah, or is that just a major set piece in the film? I can't remember. Anyway, Alfred Molina's in it, and he's good. John Thompson's in it, and he's okay.
Is Stanley Tucci in it, or is that another film? That might be another one that he's in with Bill Murray. Like towards the beginning, it's Quick Change. I think I'm confused with Quick Change. It has some elements of that film. It's
but it's a bit more family friendly than that.
Yes,
I would say.
Yeah, probably. What rating is it?
It's like a PG.
Is it? Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's just fun. It's a good fun film. And I really enjoy it. I didn't see it at the cinema. I saw it. I must have rented it, I think.
I think maybe I might be wrong on this, but I think you and me, when we started this project, we both only been to see 2 Bill Murray films at the cinema. And I think yours were Space Jam and Larger Than Life, unless you can think of any others.
Wow.
Mine was Space Jam and there was one other and I can't remember what it was.
Well, we've since seen a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And now when everyone comes out of the cinema, I mean, later this year, I think The French Dispatch is due to come out.
And then we've got Ghostbusters Afterlife coming up.
Yeah.
Which he's in.
So he's a rich...
Famously. And literally in at the end of the trailer. Have you seen the latest trailer?
I haven't.
Exciting.
Because I've tried to stay away from most trailers apart from the cute Stay Puft one. No. It's not for spoilers.
The Stay Puft one is really cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
We need to talk a bit more about this film.
Because it is a good film. Alex likes it more than me.
Possibly,
and you do, because you had you saw it when you were younger and it made that more indelible impression on you. I like it, and I think for me it's stronger than a film like Johnny English, for example, which has still managed to have 2 sequels, hasn't it? So it's done well with people and struck a chord with some people.
And I've seen all of them.
So have I. Yeah, they are. Well, they've got their moments.
Well, I think if you go into them not expecting much, then they're all right.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about Johnny English, and it is relevant to talk about this, because this film is very Johnny English-esque, except it does it better.
Yeah.
Because they both have bumbling spies. But in Johnny English, you're supposed to swallow disbelief and believe he actually is a spy, aren't you?
Yeah, really? Whereas in this,
you
don't need to do that, because cleverly they've set it up so that he's a bumbling spy doing spy things, but he's not actually aware of it, or that he wants to be a spy, which is much more interesting.
Yeah.
As a concept, because it's also, even though a comedy like this doesn't need to be believable, but it is more. It's the sort of comedy comes out of a purer and more relatable place.
Yeah,
because he's like a fish out of water.
And they've cast well, haven't they? With Bill Murray, they've cast someone who can do sort of deadpan brilliantly. Who knows how to do it in his sleep, but also sometimes that deadpan, as we've seen in the Wes Anderson films and in Bill Murray's later career, can be translated to actual acting. That deadpan is. Oh, that's how he acts, that's his style.
It's funny, isn't it? I don't think Bill Murray gives himself enough credit sometimes for how incredibly good an actor is when he is actually reined in a bit with a script and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because, again, I don't think there's a huge amount of improv going on here. I think he's got a script and they've cast him and he's going with it. I always wonder how people cast him, because he is notoriously difficult to cast.
You can't reach him, yeah.
You can't reach him. I think we've mentioned this before in a podcast, but essentially you have to ring there's like one number that goes directly to his answer phone, and then he chooses whether or not to answer it, and often doesn't. And so you have to just keep trying. And he's missed out on numerous parts.
Numerous parts because of that, but I gather that's kind of probably the way he wants it, I suppose.
Yeah, he is.
There can't be any other actors that do that, because traditionally most actors want work.
Yes. But I suppose he doesn't really need it, does he? He just wants to play golf and act a bit.
He does, yeah.
Because his output lately has been really low, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't been to see him in a film in a while.
No, he tends to only now just do... I don't know, the kind of favours for his friends, aren't they? Like
I'm trying to think of the last film we did see him in the cinema.
No, I can't remember. Well, it was On the Rocks, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, On the Rocks.
Was it On the Rocks, yeah, which we'll talk about in a future... What do we call these? Vlogs.
Vlogs,
in a future episode.
Yeah.
So, I've genuinely forgotten what film we're talking about. Oh, yes, The Man Who Knew Too Little. Clearly, the title was not Shakespeare... Hitchcock, although both geniuses, is a Hitchcock parody, isn't it? The Man Who Knew Too Much. So you're going into it sort of knowing that sort of it's... Because it's the opposite of the expected title, you set your bar on comedy. It is funny, it is consistently funny, it is silly. For me, maybe not for you, but for me, some of the jokes miss the mark because there are so many of them and so consistent, and so, like those bits... You all know this, right? Like, let's be honest, those Johnny English films, they're okay, aren't they, to pass the time, but they're not genius comedy, are they?
If you had to pick, if someone held a gun to your head and said, pick a favourite Johnny English film, what would it be?
I like the second one.
Interesting. So...
Is the second one's with Gillian Anderson and Daniel Kaluuya, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's strange to imagine they were both in that.
So presumably you don't like then. What's his name? Ben Miller.
Well,
because that's the only one he's not in.
Well,
I find it interesting that he was in the first one
Yeah.
and in the third one, but not in the second.
It's interesting for racial diversity, isn't it? That
Yeah.
They went, right, we'll go for like Ben Miller, like a white male sidekick.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go for someone sort of younger, someone more bankable. We're going to go with someone black, and we're going to essentially sort of get better. We're not just going to partner Rowan Atkinson up with a white male. That was how we used to do things. And then for the third one, they went, yeah, you know how we used to do things. Let's just do that again.
Do you think that Daniel Kaluuya wasn't available for the third one though?
Oh, maybe.
Because he
His
kind of made
stock
it big
has
since
risen,
then, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I can't really imagine him being in that third one. Whereas Ben Miller, I can.
Yeah.
So Ben Miller was just happy to come back and go, yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
You
I'm
fired
not
me.
Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah.
But I'm back, reliable Ben Miller. Because that's like the only films he does, isn't it?
I've never seen him in any other films.
He's a TV actor, really, isn't he?
I imagine himself.
And Rowan Atkinson seems to be a TV actor that also is really well known in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's weird. He just
Because he's been in loads of things.
Every time Rowan Atkinson does a film of whatever description, it's big, isn't it? That you go,
Yeah.
really? Is he still?
I'm
popular?
not aware he's ever done a film that hasn't been big, really.
Yeah, let's try and think of that. A film where he just sort of can't. No, I can't think of anything.
Mr. Bean's Holiday,
I mean, I think that's still really big, isn't it?
is it?
I think
not
it did.
very good, is it?
It's not great, but I think it did well.
Yeah. Bean, I love that film.
How did this film do? How did The Man?
I don't
Who
know.
Used to do?
I'd imagine not great.
Yeah, because it's not.
I mean, I don't have a
Famous,
thing
but-
to look up any stats on at the moment, but
But it should have done better than it has. And we were saying earlier, weren't we? Off camera, this deserves to be better known, and maybe it will be. Please watch it if you can. I don't know where it's available.
well, I'm sure that you can find it on some sort of streaming service.
Yeah.
Annoyingly these days, I don't know if you found this. I don't know how often you stream and pay to stream, but you often now have to buy a film rather than rent it.
Yeah.
There's not any renting.
You're talking about like if I'm watching something through like Amazon or something. So
Yeah,
Prime.
I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
and I
tend
don't
to-
get
yeah.
that. I don't get that. That's a real pain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to own the film. I just want to watch it.
Well, sometimes you do. You probably would if you didn't have this on DVD. You probably would want to own this
Yeah, but I'm talking like
if you've never seen it before. Yeah.
Yeah, well, something came up the other day that I watched with my wife, and we didn't want to buy it. We just wanted to watch it because it was part of our movie project that we were doing, and it wasn't available.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Annoying, but then we've had annoying moments like this, and at least The Man Who Knew Too Little is available, unlike with Friends Like These, which we'll talk about in a later video.
We're actually changing our run of recording just so that you can use some props.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hope we can find them. We don't have any props for this.
No.
That's because no one has ever bought me an immersive theatre experience where I pretend to get caught in a criminal conspiracy. At least Christmas coming up.
Yeah. Ah, you beat me to the joke. Never mind.
If only the joke was funny, but I didn't.
Well, I was going to say, oh, that's your Christmas present.
Yeah, you probably the click because I can't click my fingers. The click would have made that funny.
So a lot of people can't click their fingers,
can't
and I
do
think
it.
they think that it's something you just can magically do, but it's not. You have to learn it.
Yeah, and I've tried learning, but I just
No, you just have to keep going. You have to keep doing it, and eventually you'll build up the callus in your thumb.
Oh, will I?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's how you do it. It's like guitar playing.
good. I've learned something.
Oh, that's not the mic.
So The Man Who Knew Too Little is a good film. I think you rate it high. Should we go to the scores?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you gave it something like a 9. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And I gave it 8.25. Oh,
Do you want one?
No, I didn't give it. Yeah, I did. Thank you. Yes, this is our Murray Mint.
Right. So
So yes, 8.25 and 9.
yes, first
well
time.
done. Well done.
Yeah,
I'm really
high
happy
five.
for you. Smooth. I gave it 8.25. You gave it 9.
Right, that's difficult. No, it's not. It's 8.75.
It's 8.625 according to this.
What? Hang on. What did I give it? You gave it
I gave it.
8.25.
Oh no, you gave it 9. Sorry, I'm just making numbers up.
no,
When I
you
gave
said 9.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that is right, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So 8.65 out of 10, which I
idiot,
think
yeah.
takes it sort of pretty high up there. It's not our highest score,
Must be in the
but
top 20 or something.
yeah, and he's made about 60 plus now, more than that, I
Yeah.
think. 65, something like that.
Well, he's had a career that spanned like 6 decades, hasn't he?
Yes.
The 70s,
Yeah.
80s, 90s, noughties, 10s, 20s.
And so this isn't just mid to late 90s, it's mid career. was a good mid-career film from him. He seems to like it. I've read an interview of him recently where he says that he thinks it deserves to be better known, where he thinks there's some really nice comic moments in that, and that's a nice way to describe it. I can't remember if I'm paraphrasing or if that's what he said, but comic moments, because this film is indebted, like Mr. Bean and things like that, to that sort of comic tradition of pratfall, like, you know, the sort of the French mime, sort of like the classic sort of commedia dell'arte. Like it's in homage to a lot of sort of classical styles, I think.
Yes, it is, Matt. Yes, it is. So I had a little moment of hesitation there, where I couldn't remember if they knew your name or not, but they do, and so it ruined the moment. Shall we say goodbye?
We can say goodbye. That's it for now. Watch The Man Who Knew Too Little. You would have a fun time. I won't say what we're doing next time because I can't remember.
Alice, I'm going to ask you a couple of standard questions. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Okay, I'm going to teach you a little something about Bill Murray.
I'm very excited. I'm very pleased. I want you to get right down there. No studying.